Says we are live. Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement. I'm Walter from Kuntry 3D, and we're going to turn this over to Glenn so he can tell you all about himself.
All right. Well, I just had to make sure my stuff was muted so that I'm not that guy again this week. But hey, everybody, I am Glenn, and this is Fun King 3D, a father and son channel that does electronic projects and 3D printing projects. And I just want to say that today I am representing 3D Gloop because the Andrews were awesome enough to send me this cool T-shirt, and so I wanted to wear it and show it to you guys. You too can be a Gloopy. They actually have a contest that you can join monthly, and you can win some fabulous prizes like a new car. Oh, not really. We can be found anywhere, pretty much anywhere, at Fun King 3D. That'll be you, Chris.
Excellent. Yes, I am Chris Riley, the Chris Riley to some, here on YouTube, and on Twitter, Chris Riley 3D. Finally, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Everybody probably knows me from Walter's channel, but it's another fun-filled Sunday of attempting to 3D print and create things, and I'm pretty jealous of the Gloop shirt. I have to say, that's a pretty sweet shirt.
I hear you. All right, well, I'm gonna try this. Since you're done, I'm gonna try this little list thing again. We got 3D Medic Vince, 3D Printing Llama, Aaron Seeger, Apocalypse Survivor, Brit Hawks 3DP, Christopher Mascheck, Fred Greer, Hack Monkey, Justin 3D, Earl Knappen, Patrick Nugenthoff, Robbie Mack, Robert Reynolds, Scalda YT, Trolling for Dollars, and Tristan. And there's Alan Moritz coming in. If I didn't get you, I am so sorry. But Sean Gould, Rodney Lorimore, if you're not here at the beginning and you're not in that list, you may get told, hey, you may not. What's up, 3D Mark? Oh, there's a new person, Freddie Olfseth from Norway. Welcome, welcome, Richard Horry. All right, good deal. Glenn, what you ain't working on anything today, are you?
I'm really not. Like I have a million things to get done. And I'm not really doing any of them. I did have to print a part for the FK1 because one of the guides for the cable chain got broken in transport going to Orlando Maker Fair, and I just finally got around to printing a new one. But otherwise, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of make it up as I go along.
Sweet. Chris, you working on anything today?
Yeah, I got 3 or 4 things going here. One, we can talk about when we have an open window, or if anybody wants to talk about it. But this cycle right here, what it is testing is unified bed leveling. And it's just an option in Marlin for a different type of bed leveling. That's really long-winded and kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
And then I need to touch up some solder points on some of these circuit boards. So, you know, odds and ends.
Well, it has unified bed leveling's been around a while though.
Yes, it has been around a while.
It's not anything new. Just most people go, okay, mesh bed leveling. I understand what that is. So,
right. Yep. Yeah, it's been in there a while. It hasn't been really utilized. So I thought it'd be a great time to test it.
Well, I am working on a vape mod that is broken, and I've got 2 that are the same. And me and my wife both had the same vape mod. I had a blue one, she had an orange one, and the screen went out on mine, which is a little, I guess it's a 3/4 by 3/4 inch screen. So I basically taken the guts out of one and putting in the other. The problem is that in her mod, she had some broke plastic parts. So I'm trying to repair the plastic parts that were broken on hers with the plastic parts from mine. So this is being fun. It's really, I hate, we bought new mods. I'm just working on this one just because. But some updates on the Stargate. And I know that all of you are sitting by on bated breath, just waiting for updates on that Stargate program. Anyway,
I know I am.
It is coming along. I got an email from a member of the country club that said, hey, I'm going to do you a favor and send you something that'll make it a lot easier for you to do that Stargate wiring. I said, okay, you are the man. And he sent me a picture, and he has created a PCB that I can just solder the parts into instead of trying to solder them together and, you know, half doing it. So I am actually waiting on that before I delve into more wiring on the Stargate.
Well, that's cool.
It's amazing that this community, man, that's, you know, we talk about it all the time, but you really, until you see it, I mean, you don't really know the power of the community, because it is amazing what they can get done when they're ready to get it done. I mean, just amazing to me.
Well, the wealth of the knowledge base is just ridiculous.
Oh. Yeah, because look, I'm here, and y'all know this for sure. I'm here to bumble through projects, bumble through making things, and make the community stronger. I want people to get to know each other in the community. That's what I'm here for. But there's some of these guys, man, it's incredible the knowledge they have in their little pinky that blows my brain away.
Yeah.
Hey, Walter, do you have the oh, somebody's already got it. Never mind.
What, the live link?
This call was too quick. No, the link to Ken's Kickstarter for the Spring Steel Sheets. And I want to say hey to my brother from another mother, James, who says he's only here to beg for subs and money.
Well, yeah. He lost 2 inches today. It's been a bad day. Thought that's all you had, James?
It depends on where you lose that 2 inches from.
I hear you. I'd be in trouble.
If you lose it from your waist, you're doing all right.
Yeah, you're right about that. That never seems to happen.
See, I'm printing a new Lego minifigure toilet paper holder so that I can stop taking the one out of my bathroom when I go to shows. It always makes me laugh when people come up to the table and they're like touching it. Oh, this is so cute. And I'm thinking, yep, just yesterday I was pooping next to that.
You are so awesome that it's actually in your bathroom.
Well, and then it's funny to see the look on people's face when they go, oh, that's really neat. And you go, well, that's actually the legitimate toilet paper holder out of my bathroom. And they kind of like look at you like, ew.
Right?
But, you know, if they had to use my bathroom, they wouldn't think twice about using it, you know?
True.
But, no, I had one that I was carrying around to the shows, but it went to Pooch, went to Ripcord at IRF. So I figured it was about time to print another one. Note to self, if I go to Rip Festival, don't touch stuff on Glenn's table. That's it. Instead of making the signs that say that my stuff's fragile, please don't touch, I'm just going to make a sign that says I've pooped on all this stuff.
These objects have been flagged.
Did you put some chocolate smear on it for effect? No, but I do put the little poop trophy right next to it. It was so funny. A kid picked that up at Gainesville Maker Faire, and he's like, oh, it looks like ice cream, and he was pretending to lick it. And I said, that's poop. And then he's like, ew.
You're just not right, man. Not right at all. Why won't you go?
Turned really strange.
Freddie Olseth asked, I probably just butchered your last name, but can I ask you guys a question? How do I best find out what settings for extrusion multiplier I should use on my printer? And my answer to that would be definitely do an extruder calibration. And then you can use the extrusion multiplier to kind of dial it in. But if you properly calibrate the extrusion or the extruder, you should be good to go. Anybody else got input on that?
I don't enjoy using the extrusion multiplier. I agree with you on calibration. I think that is the best way to go, and just go with that number. I guess there are times where you would want to lower your extrusion multiplier, maybe like by 1/10. but that would be about it. I mean, I would just leave it at 100% and go with the calibration.
Yeah, the only time I could ever imagine wanting to adjust that, well, even then, I was going to say if you have filament that's out of tolerance, but you could set that before you sliced it.
Yep.
I'm not sure I've ever varied that.
Well, there's a kind of a funny story that goes with that. So extrusion multiplier, that was one of the biggest things about Simplify 3D. And this has been 3-4 years ago. It's been a while ago. But people were switching over to Simplify 3D and saying, "Oh man, my prints come out so much better." Well, it's because by default, Simplify 3D knocks extrusion multiplier down to 0.9. So if you had this over extrusion effect where it kind of looked lumpy, it would sort it straight out and you'd have this really fine finished print. But it was just because of that. It actually extruded less plastic.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they've gone a lot deeper than that. But that was kind of that was an interesting change. That's the first thing in the G code, if you notice. Well, it's not full. It's not at 100%. So it's going to look a little different.
He says he did an E-step calibration, and that's good. Then should the setting be 1 or 0? We might be talking about a different setting because it should be a percentage.
Yeah, what slicer are you using? Any tips with pallet 2 and Bowden setups?
Sorry to hear that, James.
Man, that thing is difficult at best. And when you do Bowden, it's really hard to get it to talk and request the right amount of filament for that tube. I have never had a successful print on a Bowden printer. Now it runs maybe 95% accurately on a direct drive, but I haven't had any success on Bowden. So sorry. But Matt, usually if you can't figure it out, there's no way I can figure it out.
That's what amazes me, man. A lot of people have all these amazing printers and they do all these amazing things, and then they're like, "Hey, do you have an opinion on why this would be doing this?" I'm like, dude, if your brain hadn't thought of it, mine definitely hadn't. All right. So, Glenn.
Sir.
Are you all packed and ready for Murph?
I just never unpacked from Gainesville.
Well, yes, you did. Quit lying.
Well, I unpacked the printer. I have to crate the printer back up, but oh, what a task that is. Let me tell you. If you're going to build a really big printer, don't do it upstairs or in the basement. Either way, like build it on the ground level and make sure it properly fits out the door. So
in the garage.
I don't know if I told this story, but my plan is that I brought the base of the crate up here, which is about 2/3 of a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. So it's heavy, but I brought it up here and then I put the printer on it, and then I stood it up and I put the hand truck underneath it and I strapped it to the hand truck to take it down the stairs as carefully as I can. Well, it's only a 32-inch door at the top of my stairs, and it's a 31-inch wide piece of plywood. And so the math says that will fit, but anybody that knows anything about doors, a 32-inch door, the jamb is actually smaller than that.
Right.
So it didn't fit. So then I had to unstrap it from the plywood, carry the plywood back down, and then I actually built a jig to fit my hand truck to carry the printer. Okay, so I get the printer downstairs, and then I have to crate it up on my front porch, which was not fun either. So it's definitely a task getting that thing up and down. So Sean said, make sure you have a lift and a service elevator. I wanted to put an elevator in the house when I built it. My wife told me no. But keep it on the kitchen table. It could be the kitchen table.
Right.
But,
just put your board on top of it and use it as a table.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a task. And I think about the few times a year that I'm going to have to carry that thing up and down, but it'll be okay. So, but hotel, I called the hotel because I was going to pay for it ahead of time. You know, I'd reserved it with the pay when you got there, but then everybody said, oh, if you do that, you could lose the room. When I called the hotel, they told me I couldn't pay for it ahead of time.
I got the same exact thing.
So, but she did tell me if you download the app, you can actually do an electronic check-in like 48 hours early, and it will guarantee your spot.
Okay, good.
So that's some insider information. She was the nicest person I've ever spoken to on the phone. Like at first I thought it was like kind of a fake nice the way she had answered the phone, but the more I talked to her, she was genuinely nice. So, but and of course on the phone I'm not. I'm a jerk. I'm like, what do you want? I just want off the phone.
Well, here's my story on that exact topic. So I am the nicest person on the phone ever, please and thank you and ma'am and all that, and they let me prepay.
Really? And they let you prepay? Yeah, but did you make your reservation based on I'm going to pay when I get there and then call back and want to pay, or you just paid when you made your reservation?
I made the reservation through like one of the third-party sites, pay when I get there.
Huh, interesting.
And see, that's me too, because I made it through booking.com and they wouldn't let me prepay either.
I did it right through their website. So I'm just wondering if this lady didn't know how.
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
I think I called last Sunday actually after we got off the stream.
Yeah, I might call again and just see. I don't even know why. Like, I don't know why I put it off, because it's going to come out of the same pocket regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Mike Never Let the Machine Win says, yes, I reserved months ago and called a week ago and was able to pay. Yeah, somebody's like, they found out who I was because I called up and I said, hey, this is the Fun King, and I demand immediately that you take my credit card to pay for my room because I'm not getting jerked around like you do to people. And then she was like, we can't do that. No, I didn't really say that. I do like to introduce myself as the Fun King, though.
The Fun King. I'm getting some sort of crashing on this.
Matt said I prepaid after making reservation with pay on arrival with Hilton Honors, which is what I did, then called 2 weeks ago and paid ahead. Yeah, so she must have just not known how or that it was possible.
Well, I must have got the same lady you did then.
Was she super nice?
I don't know. I wasn't really.
I mean, this lady was like really, really, like, she was like, thank you so much for calling. You have absolutely made my entire lifetime. What can I help you with today? I mean, I don't even know. It was just like, I really thought she was being phony at first, but the more we talked, the more I realized she was just a really nice lady. So
Nope.
I'll have to call. And
I now have one working mod out of 2, and I can maybe desolder this screen and get a new one.
it didn't work for me because I'm not the Chris Riley.
There you go.
I think one of my saving graces will be, though, that that I'm not checking in on Friday. I'm checking in on Thursday.
Right. That's mine too.
More people are going to show up on Friday to check in. So, I mean, chances are they won't be completely sold out. Plus, I booked the presidential suite, so that might have something to do with it as well. What's the matter there, Chris?
I think that's they're gonna have the Fun King logo like engraved on that gold embossed nameplate for the weekend.
No, they're taking the Hilton off the front and putting my logo on the front of the building.
Oh man, I need a step stool in here to get my feet off the ground.
You know, let me tell you what, if I was independently wealthy, I would pull crap like that.
Would you now?
Like, everybody would show up to the Hilton, but it would be the Fun King 3D hotel. And of course, I would just like rent, like I would book the whole entire hotel and then just give everybody a room that showed up, you know, first come, first serve.
Absolutely.
I would be so dangerous if I had unlimited funds.
I think a lot of us would.
Fun King Palace, Goshen.
not right. Hey, I did want to show y'all. I got some new microphones for Murph because I felt like such a craphead at Earth with my cheap looking little junk I had.
Tell me what you got, because I was just getting ready to order some.
These things, they're called high tech. Hold on, let me pull up this camera and I'll show you. I don't know that. I don't even want to try to say the name of this. So
yeah, I was going to order one of those digital voice recorders that has a microphone jack on it.
These are the high tech, however you want to say that. They come with the windscreen, and they are nice. They feel nice in the hand. But it was a 2-pack. It comes with, you know, your wireless transmitter. I got to get it out of the bag here. It's in one of these bags I brought over here. I don't remember where I put it.
Zimmy asks, how early do you get there on Friday to set up? I don't know. I've never done it. This will be the first time that I exhibited at Murph. It's only my second Murph. I've heard conflicting answers that you don't get to go in until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've heard that they'll open the doors in the morning and that it's a free-for-all with lots of people getting shivved and all kinds of stuff. So.
Oh, wow. And then I've got this. This is my Zoom H1, right? And the reason I wanted these was because the wireless piece on the ones I took to Earth was like this big, like the size of my face, and it was hanging off the side of my recorder, and I was so afraid it was going to be broken. So this one has this little bitty tiny wireless receiver, and it gives you a 1/8-inch connector deal, so it plugs right in there, and it's still wide. And I may design and 3D print like a case or something for this, but it is still much smaller than the one before.
You could get like a 3-inch cable adapter from the 1/4 to 1/8, so that it would just be floppy, and then you could stuff it out in your pocket.
I think they actually give you one here.
That way, it's not sticking 90 degrees out the side. Real quick, Rennie, I did not know that you were coming to Murph, so now that you're coming, yes, I will absolutely bring it. That is greatly appreciated. I still have never sent back his the stained glass that he sent me that got broken in the mail. If you guys haven't figured out, I'm really bad with mailing stuff out.
Yeah, Glenn, it comes with a little cable, a little floppy cable.
Yeah, there you go. And then you can just tuck that whole thing in your pocket, or wear a fanny pack.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Watch. Hold your breath. But anyway, I think they were $64. Oh, wait. This is a good time for me to send you that link from Amazon, right?
Yes, absolutely. Post it to the chat. It was how much? How much was the set?
I think it was like $64. Hold on, I'll pull it up and I'll find out while you're talking to them, so that
so that'll cost me about $100 then, because I got to get the recorder as well.
Yeah, I can pull that up for you too.
Oh, it's just like every time one of these shows comes up, it's like money going out and out and out and out. So last night I started to kick around the idea of buying a used school bus and turning it into what's known as a schoolie, which is a school bus turned into an RV, so that when we go to these type of shows and stuff, I could just drive the bus. But the problem with that is you go, like for Murph, it's great because you're right on the property. But for other shows, it could be a little bit rough because I would then have to tow a car as well if I wanted to not have to drive my RV everywhere that I go.
All right, there's the link for the microphones. They're $66.99, so $67 for 2, which is not bad. Oh, the Zoom, however, is $104.
Yeah, no, I found a recorder that was only like $39. That has pretty good reviews.
Yeah,
I wasn't worried about the mics on it because I was planning on plugging in external anyway.
Well, you know how you saw me when I was doing my thing at the Gainesville Maker Fair.
Yes.
And it just kind of looked weird, just kind of doing this. And now with the 2 mics, I can hand one to the other person, and I don't have to worry about that. So
that's just cool that both mics hooked to one receiver.
I know.
If I could do that with these lavalier mics, I always want to call them a lapel mic, but I guess that's correct as well too, right?
Yeah.
But like I could do that with these, and then I even thought about, I don't know if I just hooked them into a splitter if they would work well enough.
Well, and I've thought about that too, but it's mine are USB. What are yours? Are yours regular mics?
They're 1/4-inch phono jack.
Yeah, see, mine are not. Mine are USB. So my little receiver for mine is about like the size of a Matchbox that just plugs into a USB port.
Right. No, I have the other kind because mine plug into a mixer, so that because Xander talks so much quieter than I do, so I have to down my gain and up his.
Hey, Chris, what type do you use?
Microphones?
He doesn't. He just speaks and the world hears him.
I'm Matrix, man. I have a Rode, what is it called? Rode Link system or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
What was that? Rode? I can't even afford to say that word.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I was sitting here going, I was trying to say road, but all I was hearing was ching, ching, ching.
But before this, I had, I want to say it was a Sennheiser, something, maybe. I have it somewhere.
That's another word that I can't afford.
I know, right? That's another one.
Well, I think it was less than $100.
Wait, you got a Sennheiser for less than $100?
Yeah, well, it was might not have been a Sennheiser. Samson started with an S.
Samson, I can believe they sell that at Best Buy. Aaron Sager said I shouldn't repaint the bus at all. I should just put free candy on the side.
That's just not even right, man.
Yeah, but no, I switched to the Rode because I had so much problem with audio, and I got really tired of messing with it. And it is expensive, but it works.
Well, these ones were like $31 a pop. I own 3 of them, and all of them have been fantastic for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I couldn't. Your mileage may vary if you're not running through because my mixer is a preamp as well, so that might help. I don't know. So,
yeah, thank you, Scalder, for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I seen his first post. I didn't see what the second post was, but it's fine.
He's kind of like you, man.
So, but I think I'm going to order the digital recorder and then try just running a splitter into it with the 2 mics, and then whoever I'm interviewing will just have to clip on a mic.
Well, see, and I thought about that too. And they have a set. I saw today. I saw it after the fact. And one of them's a lavalier and one of them's a handheld, kind of like what Joel uses, where he has a lav and he hands them a. Yeah, it's kind of like that. And it was like $89. I think I saw it.
Whew, yeah, I just don't know if I want to make that kind of investment this close to going to another show.
Well, that, and I mean, really and truthfully, it's like I told Regina, it's really weird because I'm doing that to use them once or twice a year.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not, on my other channel, if I go around and I do some interviews for other things, that would be okay. Because we've got this guy here in our county, and I know y'all have seen him before, but he does chainsaw art. Like when people lose trees in a hurricane or something like that.
Right.
He goes around and turns them into dolphins or whatever.
That's the stump portion of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like right down here at the Y down from my house, he made a couple of dolphins and they've got sea turtles on them, stuff like that. I mean, he's a maker. I mean, I don't care, if he's making 3D printers or what. He is one hell of a maker with a chainsaw in his hands.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
Tristan, I had that same thought as well, but it is a powered receiver. So I don't know if it preamps at the receiver as well. So
Aaron Seeger said, now Walter will be able to do a mic drop during his interviews. I'm like, nah, not for $70.
I was gonna say you just have to have somebody with a pillow to catch it. So that you do the mic drop. Nobody sees your wife down there catching it with the pillow.
3D Walter or Gray Walter? It'll be 3D Walter will be coming to Murph.
I've had like 5 things I was going to say, and I can't remember any of them now.
Ben, Hawk 3D Proto's in the house. Joseph Floyd says, if you're going to do interviews on the show floor, you'd be better off with a single Shure SM58 for the noise rejection. If you go with one, move the mic back to you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like I have a corded mic, and I thought about doing that too if it'll run through there without phantom power. I don't know. This will be the first time I've ever tried to do interviews at a show. And then my other thought is it might not even happen. Where I did not get to leave my booth at Orlando Maker Faire at all. That could happen at Murph as well.
It probably will.
And then I'm going to admit something here because, you know, I love the full transparency. I have a lot of anxiety that that my printer is not good enough to show off at Murph.
Shit.
I just want y'all to know that.
Whatever, dude.
Well, I mean, there's
a couple that are coming that are interesting and nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to the White Knight, and there's a couple more that I want to see, but
it's not that. It's just the people who will be there. You know, the amount of brain power in that building. I'm intimidated. I guess that's what I'm going for.
And they will love it.
Hopefully.
You don't even have to say hopefully, dude. I mean, I've seen it. They will love it. It's a nice printer. It really is. And
yeah.
the thing is, it's polished too. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's pretty. Yes, I made it as pretty as possible. I just wish it printed prettier.
Well, I mean, you're still working on that, are you not?
Oh yeah. I can't tell you how many benchies I've printed off of that thing.
Are they getting better?
I have found a couple issues as I go. The Y-axis had, like, if I would move it manually, I could feel some resistance in it, and so I kept messing with stuff. There was the chug, which I changed out that pulley, and that got better, but there was still some resistance in there. Well, come to find out, I had the belt entirely too tight, which I didn't think that was possible on a 3D printer, but it was too tight. And when I loosened it up, the print got better. Of course, I don't know where that print is now, but it's really hard to keep track when you print all the same model in the same color.
Hey, you're talking to the wrong guy about that.
I did want to let everybody know, and I told Glenn and them before the stream, I did get my Amazon affiliate link straightened out. I will put it in the description. There it is. I know Robbie Mack used to use it all the time, and I appreciate it. Several other people have bought from it all the time. But now they give you, I don't know, 3 months to get 3 sales or some crap, or they knock you out again. So there you go. I posted the link to it. That's just straight up go to Amazon and buy whatever the heck you want to buy. The other 2 links I posted were Amazon links. So just letting you know, being like Glenn, I want to be straight up and straightforward about it.
So can I bring my big PV stage amp and speakers, and we set it up at our booth, and then like we can just do on the microphone the whole time instead of just talking?
Everybody loves that.
Sure. I mean, if you do that, we can plug in the 2 wireless mics, right? I've got, and then I can use the Zoom for interviews. Hell with it.
That'd be so much fun.
My crack reporter will have to be, on his game.
It's true. I'll have to write all the questions I need to ask on my arm.
All right. What's up, Maya Misfit? How are you?
Man, out of all this stuff, I have to have a 22 pulley sitting somewhere. If I knew where it was.
You have gotten entirely too good at taking that thing apart and putting it back together.
Man, I know that machine. I can tell you that. that thing might as well be a 350 Chevy.
Ooh, that SM58 mic is like $140. Oh, I guess they have a $99 one, but
yeah, I will tell you right now, SM58 is the most used professional mic ever in history.
I have to see because I have a couple professional level corded mics.
When I used to do the band, I mean that's all we used was SM58s.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not bragging at all, but if you want to borrow a microphone, I have a box full of recording microphones. I got 58s, 57s, 99s, AKGs, 1000s, 3000s, whatever you want.
Yeah, I know that the SM58 was the most ubiquitous mic in music for a long time.
Yeah, if you have to have one microphone, that's it.
Yeah.
Jen said I should be intimidated by her brain power, and I am. More so, I'm intimidated by your awesome children. But...
And then she had to come back and respell intimidated because she put imitated in the first one.
I didn't see that.
It's all right, Jen. We understood what you meant.
Well, but that kind of works either way, doesn't it?
I guess it does.
Maybe I'll just steal one off of something.
What's up, Mr. Hardman? What are you stealing? A 20-tooth pulley? Hold on, I got one. I'll hand it to you.
I need a 20-tooth pulley. Can you hand me one?
Yeah, I'll hand it to you through the thing.
Matt said he retyped that for her. That was really nice of you, Matt. Not to retype it for her, but to call her out in public like that.
Yeah, to call her out and tell her you retyped it for her.
She has mile-long fingernails. Let's blame it on them. Oh, too funny. Definitely looking forward to it, though.
Mr. Butcher said a 350 small block Prusa. What's up, Mr. Hardman? How are you, buddy?
So what's the range? What's the range on those mics?
On the ones that I've got?
Yeah.
I went about 50 feet away from them. Now, that's with no interference. That was in the front yard. But I had Regina stand or I put the recorder on the thing, and me and Regina walked out. It's probably about 65, 70 feet to the highway. So we stopped in the yard. We didn't go out to the highway, but it was crystal clear.
And you said both your microphones are USB?
Well, my Snowball is USB and my lavalier here USB. The other one is a 1/4-inch jack, the new ones that I just got.
Gotcha. Now, have you tried to use both of those USB mics at the same time? I always got some really crazy latency when I tried to do something like that.
Well, I can't right now because yes, I have had them both on at the same time.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of echo.
Using them
What's that?
at the same time, like actually like having them both unmuted and going at the same time.
Yeah, when I had Regina on the stream at the house one time, I had on the lav mic and I put the Snowball up to her face so they could hear her talking. But when I was talking, they could hear me in the Snowball. So
yeah,
it was getting an echo.
A little bit of a delay.
Right.
Yeah, I never got that to work. I never could sort that out.
But
See,
now
that was
the
other reason I went mixer.
If I have two lav mics, it works fine. So, which I have a little bit of latency. Everybody tells me on my audio anyway. Which in OBS you can compensate.
I was going to say, yeah, you can compensate it in OBS, but
on Google Hangouts it's kind of difficult. And when I'm watching the Google Hangout right here of me talking, I can see my lips move before I hear.
Yeah, but Google Hangouts is weird anyway. I've never seen it be in sync on Google Hangouts. Oh, Robbie Mack, you're such a sweetheart. Lion Misfit said, I'm just going to put this out there. Chris has awesome hair. And my thought to that was, no, Chris's hair has an awesome Chris. But then Robbie Mack came back and said, so does Glenn. And absolutely right, brother. I've got the greatest. No muss, no fuss.
Boy, yeah. You know, I enjoy my haircut. I do have to say. I've had it for a long time. I don't know what I'd do without it. But, man, washing and combing this hair, it's like the worst thing ever.
Dude, I feel your pain. I used to have it too.
Oh, man.
Wait. Have I been Yeah, I used to have tables stacked up over here. Yes, I did.
Duo said the greatest hair, singular. I don't have gray hair. It's actually blonde. You just can't see it.
Lester, I don't know, man. I use the Fifine, whatever the hell it is.
Fifine. Everything is Fifine.
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 Look, Napping can't even spell gray right.
Oh, I spell it. That's the proper way.
No, it's
that
not.
much better.
It's like you people who can't say aluminium correctly.
I know. Never in all my life seen so many people couldn't pronounce aluminum.
No.
It's that second one.
These mics that you have, they have a kit that's one mic and two receivers, or a kit that's two mics and one receiver.
What's that?
They have a kit that is one mic and two receivers.
Why would you want that?
I don't know. And then they have a kit that's two mics and one receiver.
That doesn't even make any sense the other way.
I mean, unless you got to push the sound to two, like, you know, an amp at each side of the room, maybe.
That still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were like in an auditorium and you had, say, you were using a guitar amplifier as a PA speaker, and you had one at each end, as opposed to having to run a cable, you could put a receiver in each one of them.
Yeah, but then there's no way you could control that latency.
That would be on them, not on you.
I guess. I don't know if I told y'all. I did tell you. Oh, I want to tell y'all sorry about not having a stream on Saturday. But I didn't get out of bed Saturday morning until almost 10 o'clock. For those of you that don't know, me and the missus stayed at the hospital all night Friday night. She was not feeling well. So I took her to the emergency room at the complaining of her because she was not wanting to go. But it turned out that was it. Everything was okay. But now we know. That's why we pay all that money for health insurance, so that we can do that when necessary. Yes, Napping, she is fine. But we got to the hospital, I don't know, about 8:30 and did not get home until almost 4 o'clock.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how long it takes to get anything done.
Well, the thing is, they saw us in like no time, just really quick. And then since her EKG was fine, well, then you become a regular ER visit.
Right. You're suddenly not as important anymore.
Correct. So, which is good. I'm not complaining about that. And then we sit out there for about, I don't know, an hour after that. Well, it wasn't that long because they did chest x-rays about 30 minutes later. And then about 45 minutes after that, they come and they drew blood and got an IV, ready for her arm. And then, I don't know, it was probably about an hour after that. They called her back and put her in the room, did all the paperwork, took our money, blah, blah, blah. And then said, okay, in about an hour and a half, we're going to do another blood test because we have to do 2 of them 3 hours apart just to see if there's a change. So we had to wait. They did the second blood test at about 1:15 or 1:30, and then came back in with the results at about 3 o'clock. And when those results were negative, they're like, okay, you can go now.
Country, I like your hair. Covered by that hat, grinning face with big eyes.
Thank you, Mr. Hardman. I appreciate that.
I like it that it explains the emojis.
Right. What's up, Andrew S? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me pull up that email. I want to tell y'all because I like to give people credit when they do things for me. Except for Glenn.
I wasn't listening. What?
What?
Exactly.
I was shopping for a microphone.
Oh, no, Mr. Dwayne S. is the one that is making the PCB for me. And I just wanted to give him a shout out and say thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate it.
That Dwayne S. is a good guy.
Yeah, I wish I could pronounce his last name. I would say it, but I can't pronounce it. And I just don't really think I should butcher it as bad as I would. Because I would definitely butcher his name. So, I do appreciate it very much so. Now I got to see if I can pull my chat back up. You forgive me, Tristan? What'd you forgive me for? For not being Saturday? Yeah, Hardman, my insurance pays really good on most things, but ER visits cost us $100. I mean, but that's all we pay is $100. So that's really not that bad if you think about it.
No, but I got a bill from my insurance company for $800 for my wife's CT scan because it wasn't pre-authorized.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, so now I got to call them because one of the catches is if it's an emergency situation, you don't have to have pre-authorization. Which at the point that my wife wakes up on a Sunday morning and she's in so much pain she can't move, I think that qualifies as an emergency situation. So,
Andrew, go ahead. Sorry.
I also found out that the injections that I was getting in my eye, the first 3 were like I think it was like $690 an injection.
Yeah.
Which to me is outrageous. And then the new ones I'm getting are $3,600 or $3,700.
Yeah.
Per injection. So, but that was pre-authorized. The insurance company covered a great deal of it. So it only cost me about $100 every time they do it, which is once a month.
Well, if there's nothing more fun than having something shot into your eye, it's paying a lot for it.
That's right. Cross my heart, hope to die, get a needle stuck in your eye, and then pay a whole bunch of money for it.
That's right.
Well, there's nothing wrong with any of that. Nothing.
That sounds like a heck of a Saturday to me.
Well, I will tell you, for those of y'all that didn't see, or maybe you did see, the picture of the food that we ate before we went to the hospital, I was really full. And it was really good.
Yay.
We had a low country. I had actually the low country boil plus a lobster, and my wife had the low country boil.
Yeah, could you just add a lobster to that, please?
Yeah, that's what I did. Can you just add the lobster to the top of that, please, sir? And they did for $14 friggin' dollars.
What? Dude.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I don't know. Broken.
You broke your printer?
I'm just not as smart as I usually am today.
Mayan Misfit said he had to have an eye taken out and realigned.
That does not sound pleasant at all.
It's like cleaning your glasses. You pull it out, blow on it, put it back in.
And I wanted to say, Andrew S., yeah, I knew you were Play Death. I just wanted you to let everybody else know it if you wanted them to know it. Has anybody seen Bryce Schwartzwelder around? He hadn't been around in a while.
I don't remember the last time I saw him.
A few streams ago. I hadn't seen him in a while.
Why are you doing that?
Uh-oh, Chris is fixing to get frustrated. We're going to see Log go flying.
Here comes the hammer.
Log beat axe.
Yeah. The probe is triggering. You know you want a home.
How is the 6? How is the 6 what?
What if I pull the wire loose or something? Jeez.
Robbie Mack, there's no such thing. It's like eating snot, man. No can do, brother.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
There we go.
That man can have decent oysters if he wants to.
I'm not bringing them. I'm not bringing shells full of snot to anybody.
That's because you don't like oysters.
Oh, well. No, I don't like anything that's got a fishy taste to it.
Dude, I sit on the back of the boat on the oyster bar and just pick them up out of the water and crack them open and down they go.
And what is the purpose of that? At the point that you suck it in and swallow it.
I want to know who the first person was that thought of it. That's what I want to know.
Exactly. Open that up and said, oh, this looks delicious.
That looks great.
They were hungry.
But I normally put them on a saltine cracker with a bunch of Tabasco sauce and then chew them up.
First time you've ever heard Chris raise his voice. Yeah. It doesn't happen very often. Well, it happens a lot, just not on the internet.
I was going to say, it happens a lot, just off camera.
It is too good for its home. That's your home. Are you too good for your home?
Yeah, my wife doesn't like oysters either. So
I like oysters, but not in Missouri.
You do like oysters or do not?
I do. I do like oysters.
Oh, when you coming down? I'll get you some good oysters.
Yeah, I need to come down there, actually.
We actually have some of the best oysters in the world in the Apalachicola Bay. I mean, it is actually world-renowned for oysters.
Cool. I'm all for it.
And they actually started a few years ago. They started farming oysters, so that now instead of just going and digging them out of the mud, they actually hang them in baskets and make them or let them grow. And so they're more uniform. They're like, normally 3 inches long and a nice shaped oysters. Come on, Poppy Ron. Hey, it's just not true, man.
It's not food. Oh, hi, Poppy Ron. I like them when the word stew is attached.
Yeah, see, and that's I do not like cooked oysters at all.
Few questions about y'all, Cam. I probably will not have time to do that today, but Nappin, I'm more than happy to schedule a phone call or something like that with you. I do that a couple of times a week, I think. So just let me know.
Hardman, after they told me what the surströmming was, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
What was?
That Swedish fish.
Oh,
that they let rot or ferment or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Robbie Mack, I figured you were a Rocky Mountain oyster man all the way. Michael Cassell, that's sad, but that happens. Lutefisk. I don't know what lutefisk is.
That's what you were talking about, that fermented fish.
Oh, I got you.
Rotten shark.
Yeah. A lot of people eat shark. I don't really care for shark meat that much.
It's just okay. It's not my favorite fish.
They urinate through their skin, so right.
Shark urine.
Where's my alma mater? I don't know. Where's the headquarters for University of Hard Knocks? Anybody?
Russia. It's like eating catfish, I like eating catfish, but you really can't think about it too much.
What, I'm being bottom feeders?
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, that's anything, man. POD. I hear you.
Hey, there's Joe.
No way. The legend himself.
What's up, Joe? How are you, buddy? Man,
I'm
can't
so
wait
excited to finally get to meet you.
I know, right? We get to meet Joe at Murph. How are you, man?
That's super exciting.
Yeah, I can't. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. It's gonna be a star-studded Murph this year, right?
It is. You know, like if anybody, I don't even want to say that now. Forget that. I'm not. We'll just move on.
Joe, how long is your flight from Malta to probably Chicago? Right? How long is that flight?
He just beams over.
Yeah.
Somebody should send Joe the link to the stream and have him pop in.
Somebody what?
Send him the link.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Hey Joe, are you available? Or you can. It doesn't matter.
Wow, 3 hours and a 3-hour layover, and then 7 to Chicago.
Let me get on Twitter.
See, I was thinking about 12 hours, but that's actually only, 10 and a half flight time. The 3-hour layover sucks.
New message. Joe, I'm sending you a message on Twitter right now.
Mike, never let the machine win, said I'll be in fangirl mode. Fangirl mode at Murph.
All right, I sent him the link on Twitter. So
he said he has to go meet the president in the morning, so he can't.
Oh, he's got to go meet the president of Malta?
Yeah, he's meeting the president of Malta.
Literally. Sweet.
That's pretty awesome. It's all right. We're not pressuring you, Joe. We just wanted to extend the invitation. I mean, we're all just going to cry ourselves to sleep tonight.
But to be honest, what is there, like 15 people on Malta? So he probably runs into the president daily. I don't know how big the island of Malta is, so couldn't tell you. I have to say, you're welcome. Yeah, right. I will tell you though, I've been to Chicago twice in my lifetime. I don't really need to go back, I don't guess.
You don't like Chicago?
I don't like Atlanta. I don't like Dallas. I don't like Chicago. Definitely didn't like Baltimore.
You're just not a big city guy. Then.
I'm not a big city guy. So.
But the thing is, like Chicago, I don't like Chicago, but I've only ever driven through Chicago. Like I've never visited Chicago.
Right.
I've driven through New York multiple times and was never really a big fan. But now that I've been there, it's kind of cool. I wouldn't live there.
Now, I will tell you, we went to Chicago and we actually stayed. We stayed in Detroit, right? And I have to tell you that Detroit, parts of the city are fantastic. We were downtown around the baseball park, the baseball, whoever they are, the Cubs or whatever that is in Detroit, whatever park that is in Detroit. But that whole downtown area was fantastic. That's not going to happen, Hardman.
I don't even know what that is.
That's that rotten fish.
Oh yeah, no, that will not happen. You could not. There would have to be a lot of numbers to the positive side of that decimal point to get me to eat anything fish.
Vote yes to see the trio eat surströmming live.
She says it better than I do.
Did it actually say it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it shows up on mine and they can't hear it because I don't have it, patched through, but it showed up on my video at least.
Oh, we hear it, but they don't?
Oh, unless they hear it through my microphone, which should be what you're hearing it through. So.
Oh, okay. Because otherwise we just completely sound like we're crazy then.
Yeah, no, she said it. David Stockdale, if Gloop is at Murph, I'm pretty sure you will be able to get a shirt. If
Gloop is going to be at Murph.
Right.
Yeah, let me show you the back. You see that?
Print, glue, and smooth.
I am the original Gloopy. They were even cool enough to send Xander one.
I know, Chris Gulata. I know it makes you sad to hear me. That's just sad. I know.
Yes.
What's that?
I don't know. Somebody said something about me speaking Sweeznese a while ago.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Sweeznese?
It's quite an honor to have you visit our goofy little Sunday afternoons.
All right. And we will have you on live at Murph, Joe, so be prepared.
Oh, you say that like he's looking forward to it. You're supposed to say, you know, if you would allow us to.
No, Joe, you're going to be live on Fun in the Country Basement at Murph, dude.
Whether you know it or not.
But thanks, man. Thanks for being here, man. Go take a shower. Tell the president I said, hey, I'll see him next week.
Yeah, tell him Chris said hi.
Right.
I'll send him a shirt.
Tell him brother Chris said hello.
That's right.
A shirt and a few benchies.
Poppy Ron, all of that's good. You know, the thing is, lobster is overrated. It really is an overrated seafood.
For the amount that you pay for it, yes.
They used to, if you read the history of the lobster, it used to be something they used to dump to prisoners to eat.
Yeah, like a garbage fish.
Like a garbage. Well, it is. I mean, if you lay it next to a crawfish, it's an ocean mud bug, just bigger.
Yeah.
That's it. You know? Don't get me wrong. You know, those guys that go catch them and do all that stuff, it's fantastic, but they're an overrated crustacean.
Wish I was an overrated crustacean.
You are not. You are the Chris Riley. I'm telling you, I'm getting a shirt made like that. It's going to have the air quote fingers too.
Get the fingers done in LED so they actually like.
That's what I was going to say. Anybody know how to do an animated GIF T-shirt?
just like get a T-shirt with like a 7-inch pie screen mounted to it.
There you go.
Yeah, right. If I was doing that, that would be some sort of Iron Man costume I was wearing. It would be a fat Iron Man, but you know, it would be an Iron Man nonetheless.
I tell you guys, this Murph is going to be interesting, to say the least.
Dude, it's got to be, right?
Man. Yeah, it's going to be something else.
Yeah, ours was damn sure Cajun the other night. Duo. My wife, she got medium on the spice. She's like, I should have got mild. This is hot. It was good though.
Oh, and by the way, Walter, in the stuff that I am shipping are the 2 benchies that I did with the Mark II and log, so we can compare them side by side.
All right, good, because I've got all of mine are in my Murph box. I put them in there right then.
Okay, yep, they will be there.
They are in there. And I will tell you that it took me forever because I was trying to tighten all of those bearing blocks, right?
Yeah.
Never once thought to look at the belt holder.
Yeah.
And the belt holder was just wiggling back and forth. I mean, it was like just shaking. I'm like, wonder why you look so bad.
Yeah.
You know, when you've got an 1/8 inch wiggle so that when the belt starts back, it waits an 1/8 inch before it actually moves the model.
I've experienced that a time or two.
Yeah. Oh, PT3D. Now, I love me some soft shell crab, buddy. You deep fry a soft shell crab, throw it on the sandwich. Oh, man. Some good stuff. Put a glowing LED halo over his head. I could do that. That would be cool. Just make a T-shirt with Chris's face on it with a glowing LED halo above his head.
You had to say that, and that triggered something about my face being on things, which I don't want. But please don't put my face on anything. But I was scrolling through the Twitters, and I saw, and I love JT. JT is one of my favorite guys. But his sticker is a cartoon character of his face, and those things are creepy, man. I'm just gonna put it out there.
My favorite use for Chris Riley face: the smoke of the Benji.
The smoke of the Benji. No, I did not, Andrew. I did not model the hoodie for Chris. He will see it at Murph because Chris Riley does not watch my videos. He is not a supporter of the country club, but you know, it's just what it
is. That's one of those. And I love JT. I've been talking to JT for years now, it seems like, but and J-Tog is awesome. I love all the stuff that he does, but I saw that sticker and I'm like, man, I don't think I can put that on anything. I want one, but I'm gonna have to like put it somewhere else because it's gonna follow you. JT's gonna be watching everything you do.
Right? Oh yeah, JT's coming to Murph too.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's already said he's gonna be on Fun in the Country Basement, so
he has to be.
I'm pretty sure Joel will make his way by there sometime or another. If he can get through the mob.
If he can get away from his table. Is he displaying this year? Does he have anything?
I don't think so. I think he did do a open RC for the Crash Up Derby.
Yeah, but I think I heard him say that he was just gonna enjoy the show this year.
Right. Yeah, I don't even think he is he's not part of Matter Hackers or anybody. I think it's just Joel coming this year. I don't even know that he's sponsored by anybody to come.
2 or 3 perimeters to print the Rambo box. I don't think it really matters much on the Rambo box, but I do 2 4 bottoms, 5 tops.
Is that for the Prusa?
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, because I cracked mine putting it on. I don't know if I didn't make it strong enough, or I like to make it have at least a like a 6 millimeter wall.
The new one, if you go look through the parts, the STLs for the parts, the newest box, I think that's probably just the INC box now that I think about it, but it has screw down collars on it instead of the zip tie hole.
Yeah, that's the one that I have, where you put the wires go in and you put the piece on in 2 screws.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I printed one of those for the Mark III the other day.
Hey, Chris, you might be interested to know, you may not have heard this already, or I may have said it and you may have ignored me, but this coming Wednesday, as far as I know right now, we're going to have at Marlin Firmware on the country club for an interview.
Oh, sweet.
Scott Latine is going to be here. I believe that's who he always messages me at Marlin Firmware and not at Code Monkey. Because his personal is at Code Monkey, I think.
Yeah, and like in the forums and stuff, he's like Tinkerhead or Thinky Head.
That's it. It's at Thinky Head. That's it. Thinky Head.
Yeah.
Who is Code Monkey then? There's another one that's Code Monkey. Are we going to interview Thomas? Thomas is a hard nut to crack, man. Thomas is worse than Glenn when it comes to crowds and people.
Oh, Tom Sandlander?
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved that tweet that he sent out. The whole thing of, you've watched me, or it doesn't matter how many of my videos that you've watched, I might be familiar, or you might be familiar with me, but I'm not familiar with you.
Yeah, right.
I
don't know who you are. Right.
Yeah, I mean, that one guy that kept coming up and grabbing my butt, I don't know who that guy was.
Was that Chris Riley?
Might have been. He kept grabbing my butt, yelling, "I'm Chris Riley, y'all!"
Yeah. If it was me, you'd know it.
Oh, yeah. Chris is also the master at grab ass.
Chris, what do we miss? Marlin 1.9/2.0 compared to Prusa Mark III firmware. What do you miss?
Okay, it's the same person. My bad.
That's the confusing part about Twitter, because you can have a name and then you have your handle. And it's like,
yeah, no, I think so too. Oh, we're all wizards according to Gusner.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm a wizard at is running my mouth.
well, technically we are all wizards of something.
Yes. Waverly Place. Are we the wizards? Are we the wizards of Waverly Place? And y'all probably have never watched that show.
Nope,
No.
don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have 4 daughters. I watch that show quite often.
I'm actually shopping online for a school bus, so.
Oh, it was a Disney show.
Speaking of wizards, one of my favorite quotes of all time was Jimi Hendrix, and he said, "I used to be a wizard, but then I lost my hat." So that's one of my faves.
I'm glad y'all have questions. Y'all get them ready. I mean, it's Wednesday night. He is in agreement right now. I mean, as long as nothing comes up and we can get his Google Hangout working, or he gets his Google Hangout working, we are friggin' straight up good to go on Wednesday night with the interview. So, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We're going to be there.
What was that? A crick?
No, I don't say crick.
Sure sounded like crick to me.
No, I said good Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I get a crick in my neck. It's not something.
You country people talk funny.
I don't know who you're talking about. Y'all talk funny.
So as far as Mark III firmware goes, so what is the awesome stuff about it? You get filament runout. Nowadays, you don't get jam detection. So you get filament runout detection. You get stall guard. So you get crash detection. You get auto skew and bed leveling. And that's it, right? Oh, you get power off resume.
What, on the Mark III?
Yeah. So firmware-wise, just take the power off resume that's currently in Marlin, just take it and throw it away because it's not worth anything. It works, but I wouldn't trust it. I mean, it might get you out of a jam as a last resort, but I wouldn't trust it if you really needed it.
It may or may not save you.
Yeah, it's pretty sketchy. So take that out of account because Prusa uses hardware to do that. The big bonus for Prusa firmware versus Marlin firmware is the calibration process, because Marlin has skew correction, but it's based on the print that you turn out. Prusa, see, I go to talk and then I have failure. Prusa does it by calculating certain points. So you measure the corners and then they try to account for skew. So all of them are there in Marlin, but it doesn't do it like Prusa does because it has to compensate for using it on a bunch of different machines. So that calculation is a lot better in Prusa and a lot more accurate for skew and leveling. But other than that, everything else is there. Stall guard and all that 2130 stuff, everything else is there. In fact, Marlin does a few things a lot better than Prusa firmware does, and linear advance is one of them, which is probably still, I think, the #1 benefit to running newer Marlin firmware.
Well, Chris, I do. Oh, wait. Isn't there there's Mark 42. I know that Scott was talking about getting Mark 42 bed support in Marlin. I don't know if it's done yet. I know they said they were natively going to support that specific board, but I'm not sure if it's done yet. Chris, I got questions on my video where, I ran the Benchy on the printed printer, and everybody was like, well, if you dial this in or whatever, but that wasn't what that test was for. Everybody was like, well, you could probably make that print better if you did this. And I'm like, well, yeah, I can make it print better if I slice my own Benchy. because I am running, my firmware was put on here right after Murph of last year. Okay. So this is running Prusa firmware from right after Murph last year. So you probably have the linear advanced stuff on yours, correct?
Yeah. So the last bin file, hex file that they put out was actually in November 2017 for the Mark II firmware. But the stuff that you flash from GitHub has been updated recently.
Right. But my question is, what firmware are you running on your Mark II and log?
Yeah, that is all the stuff that was current as of 2 weeks ago on GitHub.
Okay, yeah. See, mine is the 2017 bin file. Well, it's actually not. I got mine off of GitHub too, but I got mine off of GitHub in March of 2018.
Yeah, yeah. So
there's been
a year ago changes.
Yeah. So my question is, I've got. There's no need for me to change my firmware, but everybody was like, "Well, you could make your Benchy better." I'm like, "Yes, I could if I sliced it in my own profile." Right. Because my Benchy is not, my stringing will be worse, but also the difference in hardware components, because you saw a difference between your log and your Mark II, and they were running the same firmware, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. So I mean, yours is purely difference in hardware and build versus the two machines, where mine is a firmware difference plus build and hardware.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's enough difference there to really change things.
Yeah. So I mean, I never expected. Now I will tell you, mine finished in 1 hour and 30 minutes exactly, both times. Both of them were exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes. So both of mine matched your Mark II speed.
Yeah. And
the second one, after I fixed the wobble on the bed, it looked really good. Other than stringing, it looked pretty good. But yeah, I mean, just that much difference is going to make a lot of difference in your print.
Yep. Agreed.
So, but we will get to see them side by side by side.
Yeah, that should be good. I'm kind of anxious to see them.
Yeah.
I'm sure I missed a ton of stuff. Somebody asked me about 2130s and 2208s, but I don't remember what the question was. The only difference is you don't get SPI control, so you don't get stall guard with a 2208.
That was the question. Can the 2208 achieve the same step skip detection and all the other features of the 2130s?
No, it cannot. Well, I have to look at the data sheet again. It's been a couple of weeks since I looked at it. You might be able to configure it with some of those features with solder joints. You might be able to actually configure the hardware that way, but I'd have to go look again. Seven by 7, what's all the hype? There's, I mean, it just gives you a bigger mesh to measure when leveling, and Prusa does it really fast because of the configuration that they use, and it's on a steel sheet, so they can probe anywhere. So they just go through and fire 7 points now instead of 3 by 3.
Question: I know Glenn saw it because he talked about printing in the mountains, but did you see my bed level that I posted a picture of on Twitter the other day?
Yes, I did. What was that?
That was the TiVo little monster going through the mesh bed leveling. It's a glass plate with a BL Touch. How in the hell did it have all of those peaks and valleys in it?
Glass isn't actually flat.
Yeah, but it ain't like that either.
Well, it was pretty though.
Oh, I know, right?
It was picking up microscopic deviations.
I guess. It looks like somebody put plastic right where it was going to probe every time. Like there's a piece of filament right there.
2100 and 2208. If it's an actual 2100, or are you talking about like a 2130? 2100 is a thing of the past, and if you buy them, I wouldn't buy them for a 3D printer. 2208 has more torque than a 2130 would, but how big a 3D printer are you running?
Yeah, but if you're running a CNC machine, the
Right.
2208s would be better.
Right. Yeah, something like that. It, you know, on a NEMA 17, you know, it's probably not going to matter a whole lot. Stealth Chop 2 has gotten a little bit better with more torque, but I mean, you could always run in spread cycle or whatever you wanted to do. But the biggest thing is 2130 versus 2208. That's always when people say what kind of driver should I get, that's always the question. What's the difference? And the biggest thing is stall guard and SPI connections.
Well, now the Duet runs 22 60s or 06s?
Duet has the bigger one, 2660s.
2660s.
Yeah.
But it has stall guard in it, but it's not as good as the 2130s. It's not as accurate.
I haven't done any reading on that, but you're right. It takes longer to do the detection or something like that.
Yeah, it's a whole step.
Whole step. Okay.
Yeah, it's full step. And the 2130s are what? They're like 8 step or some crap like that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, 2660 is an awesome driver, but it's not Pololu Shield compatible. It's bigger.
Right.
So you have to get it baked onto a board, more than likely.
And I think that's why the Duet Wi-Fi or just the Duet version 2s or whatever, that's why they make good CNC boards, because you can really throw some amps to those drivers, and they're really good drivers.
Yeah, that's a serious driver. Yeah, I'm not even sure how big you can go with one of those, but it's pretty sizable, and they're pricey too.
The drivers?
Yeah, like a 2660, we're getting over, you know, 20, 25 bucks a piece, I think.
Yeah. Which is really weird because there's 5 of them on a Duet.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure they get an awesome deal for it.
I'm sure they do.
So since the chip probably costs a dime.
I missed Aaron's question that Glenn answered.
We're talking about buses.
Oh. Glenn's going to have the 3D printing bus.
Aaron had asked me if I was buying the short bus, and I said, yeah, the short handicap bus with the wheelchair lift on the side, which I did actually consider because I would be able to roll the Fun King 1 crate onto it and lift it up into the bus. But then I decided it would be really stupid to build an RV based around a printer that I'm only going to take to a handful of shows.
Right.
So, but no, I'm looking at a flat nose 84 passenger rear engine. I think they're 84 passenger. I don't know. It's the biggest school bus they make.
Yeah, Neary's already has a bus.
Yeah, but he bought his for moving his stuff. I'm actually looking into like cutting the roof and raising the roof up on it so that you got more headroom in there. And I want to put a passenger seat in and then 2 captain's chairs right behind me so that all 4 of us can ride in captain's chairs. And as far as Florida goes, I don't know how it is everywhere, but as long as you have sleeping quarters of some form, a toilet, and then either a stove or a refrigerator, one or the other, it is considered an RV.
Right.
So.
And I believe it's a refrigerator, not a stove.
No, it's either one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. One.
Okay.
You just have to have one or the other. It doesn't matter which one you have.
I hear your printer's running in the background. I keep thinking it's one of mine.
Oh, mine, yeah, that's my AM8. It's got noisy bearings.
But Chris, I will tell you
Lego, dude.
That was all that noise that we heard coming from my printer. It wasn't the bearings. It was that vibrating.
Oh, okay.
Now it's pretty quiet, and I was like, okay, cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Sweet.
Lester, are those transit buses? We got a place that sells those too. I've considered those. Disney clearances their transit buses all the time. I think they have a rule that their buses can't have more than like 100,000 miles on them or something, and they scrap them out.
Yeah. Let me tell y'all, You know, after the Fun Country Basements, for the past couple of weeks I've done the hangouts, right, for the Patreon,
right?
And the first time I had a couple of Patreons in there, and it was all right. Last week I was sitting here by myself for 15 minutes, and then I just said, "Heck with it, I'm getting off here." So I don't know if I'm going to do it today or not. I got better things to do than just sit here.
That's a terrible attitude, Walter.
Is it?
If your Patreons want you to sit around for a half hour wasting your time, then that's what you do.
But they didn't voice that opinion.
I'm gonna start a Patreon thing where we get on and just pick on you for 15 minutes.
We can do that. Dude, you can get on mine for 15 minutes after this stream goes dead.
I never get invited because I'm not in that class of Patreon.
Oh. I'm not invited either. I'm not in that class of Patreon either.
I'm only the $1 Patreon.
And I thank you every month.
I like to support as many people as I can afford as opposed to, a few at a higher rate. I've considered doing my Patreon like a lot of other people do it, where like the $1 is the only option.
Oh, I'm so ready to get this Stargate done, dude, but I want to do it right. I'm getting my airbrush out, getting everything cleaned up. I went and got some primer today because I'm going to prime and paint this Horus. I think it's Horus. Isn't it Horus? Andrew S. Or is this Anubis? That's not Anubis. Might be Anubis.
You're saying a whole lot of words. I have no idea what they mean.
I was going to say, I do not understand the words that be coming out your mouth.
Come on, you. Was that Chris Rock? Yeah, that was Chris Rock.
No. It's
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's Anubis.
And the words be coming out my mouth.
Oh, Horus is the bird. Okay, cool. I'm not up on my ancient Egyptian. Yes, Anubis. He and I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but he did that, and he put all the electronics inside of here that run the smoke machine for the Stargate that he created. And these all have embedded magnets in them, so it clicks together like so. So I'm going to paint it, prime it, paint it gold, shiny gold, and then weather it some and that type of stuff.
You should just coat the whole thing in gold leaf.
Yeah, I don't have your money.
I don't have my money either.
Of course not, because you would put gold leaf on that Anubis. Home is what you make it. Life is a garden. Dig it. That was probably the best saying that come out of that damn movie.
Yeah, it seems like nobody wants the handicap buses with the lift on them. Like nobody bids on those ones.
Well, then you should get one. That would help you get your thing in there.
I know, but I don't really want to build an RV based around hauling that thing around. Because what's going to happen when I'm not hauling that thing around anymore? Then I got a big wheelchair lift sticking out of the side of it.
Yeah. Gold foil is actually pretty cheap as it is so thin.
Ooh. The real question is who had corned beef and cabbage today? Because I already have, and it's amazing.
I'm actually having oh no, I can't remember what it's called. It's not corned beef. Name some other meats.
Pastrami?
Having haggis?
Other meats.
It's a roast, but it's I don't know. It's been a long week. I did a lot of overtime this week to try to make up for some of the time that I won't be here for Murph.
You're not having haggis?
Haggis. Every time I hear the word haggis, I think of that movie. So I Married an Axe Murderer with Mike Myers.
I had the most Irish. Look, I had the most Irish meal I could possibly have today. I had pizza.
Shamrock Shake from McDonald's?
No, I did not.
Do they do those anymore?
I don't know. I haven't left the house today. I don't know.
The most Irish meal you could possibly have, a potato.
A potato. Well, I had that last night with the Low country boil, because you know it's got potatoes and corn in it too.
Yeah, haggis is Scottish. Tristan's right.
Ireland, Scotland, it's all the same thing. Who cares?
Unless you're from there.
I'm gonna get my daughter beat up since she's in Ireland because they don't like that at all.
I don't know. They might come here and beat you up.
Boiled ham and taters. There you go. That'll work. Cornish hen. And I knew haggis was Scottish, Tristan. Thank you, though, for telling me. Yeah, right? 3D print llama, especially after I eat it. That's a good statement after I eat it.
It's good for you.
Yeah, Pete C said them fighting words.
There is again, never trust anything that I eat as being good, because I will eat anything. I mean,
listen, I've got two things I will not eat, and that's raw tomatoes and okra.
Really?
That's it.
I'll eat both of those.
I'll try pretty much anything else, but I don't like. And I can eat raw tomatoes. I just don't like them.
Yeah,
okra I can't eat. That just makes me gag.
I really can't
some deep
think
fried
of
okra.
anything. I really can't think of anything I wouldn't eat.
Dude, I cannot. I mean, but boiled okra is worse than friggin' oysters. Whoever put that in water, boiled it, picked it up,
Yeah, I don't
said,
think I've ever had
I want to eat
only had
that.
fried. You should
I
see
mean,
the look on Xander's face when we make him eat asparagus.
Have you ever seen those eels that do the slime stuff, that make their own slime or whatever? You ever seen them?
Hagfish.
Yeah, hagfish. There you go.
Yep.
That's what okra looks like when it's boiled.
Oh, that's lovely.
I mean, who the hell wants to eat that?
Braunschweiger? I like Braunschweiger. I like liver of all types. I'm just going to tell you now. Fried chicken liver, beef liver. I believe Braunschweiger is goose liver. It's just good.
I can eat chicken livers and goose livers and stuff like that. I don't really care for beef liver much. I'll tell you another thing I don't like.
Beef liver is always like dry and tough,
but it's like beef tripe, man.
There's so much better. There's so much better pieces of cow to eat than the liver.
I used to hate walking in the house when Mama was making beef tripe for supper, because I'm like, damn, I know what we having and I don't like it.
Tripe.
But I eat it, you know. I just don't care for it.
Any idea how to get the palate to keep more filament in the buffer?
What's that?
Later, Nimby.
How to keep more filament? Well, I mean, it should completely fill the buffer every time, right, Matt? Mine is completely full all the time. When it pulls that out of that encoder, I don't know, 20 centimeters, it fills it back up again. I got a Twitter PM with, okay, I will look.
I just figured out my newest problem with Bowden is running out of buffer during purge. First world problems.
I know. I need to go heat up chicken gizzards. They were good.
Can you switch to the long tube versus the medium? Are you set up for the long tube setting versus the medium tube setting? That would probably do it.
Well, just in 3D, I would probably try that. I don't know. I've never had it. All right, everybody, don't talk at once.
Runs about half full. I'd have to go look at mine, I guess. I guess I could spool it up. I'll check it out and let you know what mine does. I thought it was pretty much constantly full. Liver and onions. There you go.
What kind of filament is that, Chris Riley?
Which one?
The one hanging from the ceiling.
That's Solutech orange.
Okay, because the way it was hanging before, it looked like it was candy cane, orange and white.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
It looks like that now. It looks like the old telephone wire, you know, that you could make bracelets out of. That's what it looks like.
Twisted pair.
Yeah, twisted pair stuff.
Chorizo is good.
I didn't complain about it, Aaron Seeger. I've never had it. Don't think I ever will. I've never heard anybody that said, "Oh, it's just fantastic."
Oh, my mom and dad used to eat that, and I could be anywhere in the house. As soon as they opened that jar, I would start gagging.
Yeah.
Even thinking about it right now is making me a little nauseated.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I've only heard about it. That is a fact, Duo, because I loved Spanish chorizo, and I don't really care for Mexican chorizo.
Now I'm thinking about Mexican food.
You're supposed to rinse. Go ahead, Chris.
No, it's Tim Wood. I'm not sure what we're talking about.
I don't know. He said large printer with
this whole stream has been just off the rails.
Hey, I did get
it for a minute. Corned beef and cabbage tacos. Totally. I'm down.
I could deal with that. You'd have to drain the cabbage quite a bit, though.
Yeah. Maybe if you fried it.
Oh. Some smothered fried cabbage, some corned beef on a taco. Oh.
Amazing.
Oh, that does sound good.
Have you ever had dried fish? Like they just put a fish fillet and then dry it?
Well, I've had it smoked. I don't guess I've ever had it like dried, like jerky.
Yeah, it's like jerky. That stuff's weird. It doesn't taste horrible, but it's weird.
See, I like smoked, and it's almost like that.
Yeah. We
smoke mullet quite a lot here. And most places think mullet is a trash fish.
Yeah.
And the state of Florida, it's not. It's really not.
Any projects this week?
Do what?
Chris asked if I had any projects this week. I said, I got a ton of projects this week.
And you need to make sure they're all done so that when I come through Kansas City after Murph.
Yeah. I need to have stuff done all the way through Murph.
Right.
I got to get some stuff done.
That's because you set your standards too high.
I know. I wish I wouldn't have done that.
I just I went to willy-nilly video releasing, and now it's just, you get what you get.
Robbie Mac's wife asked why everybody's talking about food in a 3D print stream. Like, when did this become a 3D print stream?
Because it's about dinner time.
It's too close to dinner time.
Right.
What's 3D printing?
Yeah, I forgot.
Does anybody do that anymore? That's so last year.
Now,
hey, did you guys see that MIT thing with the light going into the jar that does the model all at one time?
No.
You have not seen that?
Oh
God, can anybody tell me what the name of that was called? Because I forgot. They called it something. But they have a like a tub of filament, right? And they use mirrors and light, and they harden it just like an SLA printer, but they harden it all at one time.
And
it makes a 3D model just suspended in the liquid.
How quickly?
Very fast.
Wow.
Like 1 to 2 minutes. It's done.
It uses resin.
Yes, resin. Yes. But it was so cool. Somebody did a video on it. Oh, Seeker did. Seeker did a video on it, and I saw the video, and then somebody asked me the next day, did I see the video? And I'm like, yes. And then I forgot what the name of it was. I was going to ask you if you'd seen it. But if you look up Seeker on YouTube, because they do a lot of sciencey stuff and other things too, but their last week's worth of videos, there's one in there with a girl, a young lady, and she's the one that did it, and it's a really good, well put together video on how this printing works, but it was done at MIT. But if that ever comes about as far as resin printing, and they get the quality just a little bit, I mean, it was good quality. They did David the Thinker, and it was really good. It was as good, if not better, than an FDM print, but it wasn't quite what you can get from, DLP or whatever. But it took I think it was 5 minutes to do the whole model. It was crazy.
I want to make a printer like that, but it prints the part inside of Jello.
Inside of Jello?
Jello, yeah. So then, you could eat the Jello from around it, and then the print would be still Jello. Dang it, Chris! I was being so serious.
No, you weren't. And Chris couldn't hold it either.
I couldn't hold it. I just kept thinking of the marshmallow floating.
No, the print itself would still be Jello, but it'd be crunchy when you eat it.
Oh man!
Yeah, it does the. Lester watched it. It does the lasers like they do for etching inside a glass block. That's the way it does this in the resin.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty cool. Leaded or lead-free solder?
Well, it depends on what you're soldering. If you're soldering copper water pipe, then you want it to be lead-free. Otherwise, if you're not planning on eating it, it doesn't matter. Don't breathe the fumes, but that goes for any solder.
I think leaded solder flows better myself. Just don't lick your hands.
Right. Don't hold it in your mouth while you're soldering.
Which, I might do that. You never know.
Shh, there might be kids watching this.
Yeah. Well, don't do what I do. Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
Don't do what Donnie Don't does.
Jello. That's hilarious.
Yeah, Hack Monkey said Jello shot printer. Get on that, Chris.
That's what I need.
I don't know about crunchy Jello. That's just wrong.
It is.
How do you know? Have you ever had crunchy Jello?
Let me ask y'all. Are y'all the ones that like that really hard skin on the outside of your Jello or not?
On the Jello or on the pudding?
No, on the Jello.
No,
I don't think I've
like
ever had skin on my Jello.
Because some Jello you get that thin layer that's just tough.
I don't know. I know that my grandmother used to make that cook and serve pudding that always had the skin on it. And that was disgusting.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a guy that speaking of lasers and all that good stuff, there's a guy that's bending the color of filament with laser before he prints it.
Yeah.
I don't know what project that is, but it's pretty cool.
Tom Mama said that's just old Jello, Walter.
No, I've gotten it directly out of the friggin' molds that way, and I can't stand it.
Well, if it has mold on it, it's definitely old Jello.
Shut up, Glenn. That's just your normal recipe because you're old.
That's all stream. The old joke came out.
Well, no, because you missed it when I started. When I came in and Walter was sitting there, I said, "What's happening, old man?"
Oh. And I didn't have my mic on yet, so I couldn't even talk. I'm like,
no. If we could get it where it would convert Jello into Jolly Rancher, so then you eat the Jello from around it, and then you have Jolly Rancher candy in the middle.
Yeah,
this is big possibilities.
I'd be on that.
I'm calling trademark right now. There's a reason that Jello was on sale.
Has anyone here 3D printed a Jello mold?
Like a bag of sand.
Robbie Mac, that's a good idea, man. You could 3D print a Jello mold. I mean, use it once.
Yeah, use it once and throw it away. Walter Head Jello.
Walter Head Jello.
Oh my God! Somebody show up to Murph with a bunch of Walter Heads made out of Jello.
We'll make Glenn eat the first one, so make sure it's full of vodka.
That's not going to happen. I was going to make a comment, but I'm not going to say it.
No, I get you.
Just going to let it go.
SLA resin that is Jolly Rancher resin. That would be pretty cool now.
This could happen. I mean, somebody could make a food quality, a consumption safe, a food safe resin, some type of material that the lasers would harden to make it easier to make custom candy.
Tristan, send me your address. Nobody should go through their life without having a bowl of Jello. Nobody.
Really? There's no Jello in the UK?
I will send you a box of Jello brand gelatin.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, we have to specify. Jell-O is a brand. It's gelatin.
Yeah.
That has to be everywhere.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's like flavored gelatin, like cherry or strawberry or whatever.
Lime.
You've had to have had it. What?
Lime.
Yeah, lime,
Jell-O.
grape.
At the hospital, lime Jell-O.
Whipped cream on top of Jell-O? No.
No, whipped cream on top of pudding, though.
Right?
Yeah, the ready whip kind.
Oh yeah. Tristan said they just call it jelly.
Mm.
Well, that's what we call stuff we put on like biscuits in the morning.
Like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, right. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And it's not the same thing.
Probably Walter Heads would taste like something made in the 1930s, just like the actual Walter Head.
I'm not speaking. Yeah, in the USA, jelly is similar to jam or marmalade. That's right. That's right. I'm going to put whipped cream on top of Glenn's head. Y'all can figure out what it tastes like.
Nope, that's crossing the line.
What, the whipped cream or finding out what it tastes like?
Finding out what it tastes like.
Dude, I don't know. I told y'all about going to the paranormal thing, right?
Yeah.
Normal circuit. Dude, that was just wrong. They licked those guys' heads.
Mm.
Made them leave. I mean, it was people in the audience.
What happened?
Yeah, it was just wrong. I don't know. It was just weird.
I don't know the story.
Oh, I went to this paranormal cirque, right? It was kind of like Cirque du Soleil, but it was zombie.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
But they come out, and these guys were sitting in the audience, and it was just nasty, man. It wasn't even like funny or scary.
Yeah.
So
going for the shock factor.
Fluffernutter peanut butter and marshmallow fluff.
I used to put marshmallow fluff on my ice cream. What's really funny is I was going to say I used to put marshmallow fluff on my ice cream, but now I'm diabetic, and I look at it, it's from Michael. He's also diabetic.
What?
Michael Cassell is also diabetic, and he's the one talking about marshmallow fluff. It was just kind of funny to me.
I thought you were gonna say I put marshmallow fluff on my ice cream, and now I'm diabetic.
Robbie Mack, you got that right. Like Andrew Dice Cirque du Soleil.
Hickory dickory dock.
Move that. Never mind. I don't know. Creme brulee. What the hell is creme brulee? What is that?
It's a
Custard.
a little dish that's, I don't know, it's kind of like a weird cakey dessert, and they torch it on the top to like burn the top of it.
Yep.
I don't know. I had it on a cruise a couple years ago.
Really? I'll have to try it if I ever go on a cruise, because that's not in my southern repertoire.
Yeah.
Crunchy custard. That's a good description of it. There you go.
Is a flan that has been caramelized on top. What the hell's a flan?
It's like eating a snot as dessert.
Oh, I like custard. I do. I like pudding. There's no doubt about it.
I can't eat anything with milk in it, so
You can't.
I cannot tolerate any milk.
So we're bringing Chris Milk Duds, everybody.
That would be tough, only because I love cheese.
I do too, and I still eat it, but it pains me terribly.
So you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah, I can't. I can't tolerate, but just slight amounts. I can't
Really?
digest anything else.
So do you do like almond milk or something?
I don't do any milk.
Really? Because my daughter's lactose intolerant, and we have to buy that $3 and something per half gallon almond milk.
I like that almond milk. I use it in cereal.
Yeah, that's just a waste of good cereal for me.
I don't know the difference when I do it. It depends on the brand you buy, though.
Walmart, buddy. I shop at Walmart.
Yeah, there's one brand that's got a weird taste to it, and the other brand was good. I don't know.
Robbie Mac's trying to be funny. So no steak then, Chris, because cows have milk in them.
Justin, I've never had cheese curds, so I don't know. Just the name cheese curd sounds kind of gross to me. Which, by the way, Justin, are you going to Murph?
Dude.
Because we're going to be like almost in your town on the way up there.
Who's that?
Justin 3D.
Where's he at?
He is near. I don't want to say. He's in Kentucky. I'll say that.
No, I think we're going to leave Tuesday night and probably have breakfast with Ricky Tanner Wednesday morning again, like we did the last time we went to Murph.
Is that okay with Ricky?
Yeah, I've already asked Ricky. He definitely wants us to. I think he streams on Wednesday morning, so we may swing over and jump on Ricky's stream first thing in the morning.
Justin said, I want to go to Murph, but the wife says no. Yeah, my plan is to leave early Wednesday morning. Not like super early, but early. I don't know, 7 o'clock. And then we will end up in London, Kentucky to eat at White Castle at dinner time, hopefully, if traffic participates this year. And then we're going to drive a couple more hours north after that and grab a hotel before going to Ohio. I mean, we'll probably be in Ohio when we get the hotel, but
Yeah.
But
Well, see, and that's me. I don't have a hotel reservation for Wednesday night in Ohio anywhere either. I'm just going to get there and use Hotwire or something and pick one.
Curds, Glenn, not turds. No, even the word curds sounds really disgusting to me.
Yeah, man, but fried cheese curds are so good.
Curds. Oh, I got curds on my shirt.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of poutine, and I love cheese curds. I love brown gravy, and I love French fries. But they just don't all go together for me.
Don't eat at White Castle until after Murph. I will be eating it after Murph as well.
Yeah.
My closest White Castle is 10 hours from my house, so I take advantage of it. Don't worry, the White Castle will have worn off by the time I got to Murph.
I was going to say, where is a White Castle?
What's that?
Where is a White Castle close to Murph?
Close to Murph? I don't think there is one close to Murph.
No.
It'd
have to be in Ohio.
Why, you want me to bring you some?
Yeah.
Do you? I'll bring you some.
I need to bring him some crystals though. Make him actually eat the good ones.
There's one place in Tennessee that we seen while traveling that there's a White Castle directly across the street from Crystals, and it's the only place I ever seen it happen.
I took a picture and sent one to you.
That's where I seen it.
I took a picture and said, look, you can just walk across the street and get either one.
Lester, yeah, Crystals is a disgusting lower quality White Castle.
White Castle is a piece of crap thinking it wants to be a crystal.
What the hell's a White Castle? White Castle is higher class, better quality crystals.
And neither one of them are worth really talking about.
No, they are both, they are technically both pretty disgusting, and there's a reason they call them sliders.
Right.
Slide in and slide right back out.
Oh, yeah. They slide out before you get to leave the joint.
White Castles all over Indiana, but I don't believe that there's any near Murph. I'm pretty sure I checked, and there was not one near there. Because I would eat that for every meal while we're traveling because I don't get it otherwise.
Hey, Chris, you know what? We could actually bring you cheese crystals because they don't use any milk in the cheese they put on them.
There you go. Well, that's another thing about cheese is most of it's fake anyway. So.
Right.
It's cheese.
Cheese food.
You can eat cheese if you just make sure that it's the hydrolyzed vegetable oil stuff.
That's right.
They have Krabby Patties at White Castle now. Would you try it, Glenn? I don't know what a Krabby Patty is. I mean, I know it references SpongeBob SquarePants, but
they have mini fish and mini chicken sandwiches, and they're just okay, but they're no burger.
Where's that at?
White Castle.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't go to White Castle unless I have to.
Crystals has mini chickens too. They have the Crystal Chicks. They're pretty good. No, when I go to Crystals, I get a corn or no a chili cheese pup.
Yeah,
and then like 100,000 Crystal burgers.
You're talking about it, Crystals, right?
Crystals, yeah.
Yeah, no, I used to.
I eat is the cheeseburgers.
No joke, and Regina will tell you this story. When we were dating, I would go to Crystal's, and I would get her a large French fry. I would get a large Coke for us to share, and I would get me an 18 sack of Crystals, cheese Crystals, and that would be our lunch. I would eat 18 cheese Crystals. She would eat the French fries, and we would share the drink.
Nice. Yeah, when we had stopped on the way up, when we got to the first one, like I ordered, I don't even remember. I think we ordered like the 30-pack for us to share. And then the people at the table next to us were like, "We can't finish all these. Do you want them?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." So
yeah, right.
With like 45 burgers.
I remember being on a work trip I was traveling with another guy, and he'd never been to White Castle. And we were going to Cincinnati, and we got there. As soon as we got there, I got the rental car, and we took off, and we hit the first White Castle we saw. And I took him in there, and he's like, "Well, I'll take 2 hamburgers and some fries." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I got up to the counter and I said, "I would like 20 sliders with cheese, please."
Yeah, right.
And he looked at me like my head was getting ready to fall off.
Do you have Five Guys where you are, Chris?
Yeah, we do.
So like when you go into Five Guys and people are like, "Oh, I want the large fry."
Yeah, right.
And you're like, "Oh, your first time here?"
Yeah. Absolutely, your first time ever in Five Guys.
Yeah, the first thing I think of at Five Guys with a large is like, do I need a garbage sack full of fries?
I got a question. What is it's In-N-Out Burger, isn't it? That's out west.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
I've never eaten that one.
We went to In-N-Out because, and don't get me wrong, it is a fast food joint that is cheap. That's a fast food joint that is cheap. I don't understand. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's either In-N-Out or Five Guys." I'm like, there's no comparison. Five Guys burgers and stuff are so much better than In-N-Out burger.
But did you order off the secret menu?
Dude, it was my first time there.
So you just ordered the regular crap that was on the menu?
Well, of course.
There's your problem. See, once you know what's going on, you can order off the secret menu, and then everything is glorious. They have a burger that's like 100 patties.
That's ridiculous.
It comes in this tray like this long. I don't know if it's 100 patties, but it's a lot. It's.
But that's just stupid, though.
Somebody will chime in. They know.
Andrew S. I'm in trouble. My fiance just said, "Look how tidy his workspace is. Everything's in boxes."
That's only the part you can see.
Yeah, you haven't seen my floor.
I have to agree. I have to agree with Justin 3D. I would eat Whataburger over either Five Guys or In-N-Out or.
I've eaten a Whataburger. They were good.
Yeah, I like Whataburgers.
Revamped Outdoor says Culver's. That's what I had for lunch today was Culver's.
Yeah, and I had Whataburger once. Yeah, I don't really remember it.
And I don't care for Culver's.
We ate at Whataburger twice when we were up in the Panhandle. We don't have one locally, so there's a Culver's at Murph. Yep, I ate there last year.
We did.
James from Print and Play.
That was the first time I'd ever been at Culver's. It was okay. And my wife and I tried it again in Gainesville, and I didn't really care for it there. So I'm not a big Culver's guy. Glenn, do y'all have a Sonny's down close to you?
Yes.
Do you eat there?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not conveniently located for me.
Oh, I got you.
Plus, I have, between me and that Sonny's, there's probably 6 different barbecue places that just blow it out of the water.
Well, and the thing is, Sonny's used to be like that, but now it's a chain, and it's
right.
They still have pretty good food.
Teresa, you are 100% right. We are going to have tacos at Murph. That's just.
Oh yeah. At Murph, yeah, we have the tacos. Absolutely.
Chick-fil-A. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I like Chick-fil-A.
Well, I don't have anything against Chick-fil-A. It's just that if you try to go to Chick-fil-A in Tallahassee at lunchtime, you're going to wait an hour.
Well, yes, you can't go at lunchtime. I mean, unless you know people.
Well, I mean, even then, you can't even get in the parking lot for 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, I take my lunch at 11 a.m., which is very, 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 very helpful when we go out. So, Justin, I like Steak and Shake as well. The only problem with Steak and Shake is that their burger is so thin.
That's not the only problem with Steak and Shake. The only problem I have with Steak and Shake is that you can sit down with nobody else in the restaurant, and it still takes you 45 minutes to get your food.
Oh yeah, it's like Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. It's
there. You go to Cracker Barrel, you better be relaxing because you ain't getting your food quick.
Yeah, but at least at Cracker Barrel, you can go walk around in the store. You can do some other stuff. At Steak and Shake, you can sit there for an hour by yourself in that store and still not have your food.
Glenn knows people on secret menus. I thought everybody knew about the secret menu at In-N-Out, but
there are.
No, up until recently, we knew the owner of our local Chick-fil-A, but it went back to corporate. He gave it up to be with his family, and then but we still know a bunch of the people that work there. So,
yeah, Bob,
White Castle is a thick burger. No,
just barely solid. Mass.
Yeah, see, that's what I tried to tell Glenn, and he didn't believe me. That
like you hit it with a butter knife.
Crystal Burgers at least gives you a complete patty.
But
if you open up a White Castle burger, they take like a quarter of your patty out and holes in the middle of it
to allow
whatever it is not to allow anything. It's allowing them to sell it less meat for the same money.
To allow all the flavors to move to both sides of the patty.
Whatever, that grease is going to roll wherever it's going to roll. It doesn't matter if there's holes in it or not.
White Castle patties are thicker than the. You can take a Crystal's patty and hold it up and read a newspaper through it.
You tell a story. You can do that with White Castle because it's mostly holes.
On that, I need to get out of here.
I know, Chris extended the whole stream, guys.
I want to tell one more Crystal story, and it's my favorite story to tell ever. We had gone into a Crystal's years ago, about me and like 5 or 6 of my friends, and we had all ordered a bunch of Crystals, and the guy making the burgers in the back go, "Were these with cheese?" And we're all like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." Picks up the cheese. Picks up the cheese, and we said, "No, those are without cheese." That is an honest to God true story. So,
all right, guys. Y'all give your outros. Chris, you go first on the outro, buddy.
Yep. I am Chris Riley of Chris's Basement. You can find me on YouTube /Chris Riley. I am on Twitter, Chris Riley 3D. If you'd like to chat with me, I am around. But as always, thanks for everybody for coming to the Sunday Hangout. They're always a good time. This one was particularly eventful, and I enjoyed it.
Yes, I agree. Every once in a while, you just got to have one of those streams where you don't talk about 3D printing and it just goes off the rails. And I also had a really great time today. I'm a little tired today, so that always helps me go off the rails more than typical. But thank you guys for tuning in. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D, and we are a father and son 3D printing and electronic project YouTube channel. We can be found pretty much everywhere at Fun King 3D if you just funking3d.com or search Fun King 3D or whatever, you will find us. Our preferred method of contact is through Twitter. If you don't already know about funcountrybasement.com, it is a great resource to bookmark because the link to the stream is always there, usually before Sunday, Walter. I had to put it in today because Walter didn't, but the link to the public stream will be there for your enjoyment, so you always know where it is. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. And
I was a little preoccupied with my wife Friday and Saturday, bud. Thanks.
Sure. You could have done it on Thursday. But I think that's all I got for you guys.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Fun in the Country Basement with Chris and Glenn, and thankfully Chris was here today. He didn't think he was going to make it. Robbie Mac, yes, I will be jumping on as soon as I get off of talking to them. I have it set for 6:30, but I'll start it a little early, and then I'll send out the Patreon link. But other than that, I'm Walter, Kuntry 3D. You can find me everywhere at Kuntry 3D. I will be at Murph with these two fellas, and hopefully Glenn won't look as old as he does on TV. So
I don't. This is special makeup I put on.
Oh, I got you. But everybody have a great day. It's been great talking to you, and we will see you next. Are we doing next Sunday? We're doing next Sunday, right, Glenn?
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. The last one before Murph, but we will see you next Sunday on Fun in the Country Basement, and I will see you before then as well as the other two fellas. Y'all have a great night.
Print on.